Earth would be a meaningless place if there were no forests. We know this phrase in its true meaning, yet our love for the concrete continues to grow. Our greed for more increases. As a result, our planet continues to suffer. In recent years, we have witnessed drastic changes in the global weather patterns caused by human-induced climate changes, releasing more and more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The world we see today has developed at the cost of the environment. The use of fossil fuels and non-renewable sources of energy lead to the greenhouse gas emissions at the unprecedented scales. Emissions from deforestation and degradation contribute to 11% of global carbon emissions. The greenhouse gases are at the result of choices we make for the production and consumption of goods and services. The contribution of industrialized countries towards emissions is far greater than the developing and least developed countries. Pakistan contributes hardly 1% of the total greenhouse gas emissions, and yet Pakistan is listed the 5th most vulnerable country among the list of countries that are going to be affected by climate change.
इसी एरिया में ग्लेशियर करीब होने की वजह से खड़े पहाड़ हैं। ये ज़्यादा धूप निकलने की वजह से भी ग्लेशियर पिघल के सैलाब बन जाता है। आगे से हमारे कुल सारे आबादी नीचे अब खेत वगैरह हैं इनको ले जाता है।
When I became the Prime Minister, I resolved that we would plant 10 billion trees in Pakistan in the next 4 years. And this is now our objective.
Deforestation is the largest contributor of greenhouse gases after energy and industrial sectors. According to a report by Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, Pakistan has a forest cover of 5.45%, which is far too less for the sustainable development. The average annual rate of deforestation is 11,442 hectares, resulting in annual emissions of approximately 946,653 tons of carbon equivalent.
Because of deforestation, the water is being wasted. There's a lot of erosion. There's a lot of siltation in our dams. So it has a cyclical issue where one problem leads to another.
However, we can still limit the extent of damages caused by climate change through reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, and one way to start is to stop deforestation.
Bigger challenge that we all have together as a part of this country, as a part in each and every corner of this country, is conserving and protecting and containing the deforestation.
According to Forest Reference Emission Levels, Pakistan reports the total area of forests in the country in years 2012 was 4,786,831 hectares. By reversing deforestation and degradation in Pakistan, Pakistan would be able to increase its forest cover and meet national forest and biodiversity policy objectives. 1.2 billion plants were planted under the upscaled version GPP into 10 million tree tsunami. 3.29 billion plants were targeted to be planted by 2023, with 1 billion plants already planted. There have been 3-time increases in mangrove cover due to restoration along the coast under BTAP. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change has created an incentive-based mechanism that involves people and communities to prevent deforestation and to conserve forests. This is called RED, that is, reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation.
The idea was that how we can incentivize the developing countries to stop deforestation and degradation, or stop or maybe reduce deforestation and degradation by incentivizing the communities.
There must be strong legislative measures to ensure that the trees are not cut, and the people and the farmers who don't cut the trees, they should be compensated.
By involving and incentivizing local communities, RED Plus has potential to mitigate the effects of climate change through conservation and sustainable management of forests.
IUCN, in partnership with the Ministry of Climate Change, over 30 sessions that have been organized with the communities. There are a number of print and electronic communication materials, the media exposure visit to the sites have been arranged, building capacities of the stakeholders, particularly the departments, on sustainable forest management, on land use planning and land-based monitoring, forest inventory, and number of other areas, greenhouse gas emission inventory. Over 16,000 scientists that are associated with IUCN on need basis. We try to bring in best possible resource to help government of Pakistan in building capacities for this RED Plus.
हमने दीर कोस्तान तक गए, हम कालाम तक गए, हम कागान तक गए कि भाई लोगों को बताएं कि ये RED Plus क्या है। हम समझते थे कि अगर जंगल बच सकते हैं तो ये इस प्रोग्राम की वजह से बच सकते हैं। इसकी खूबसूरती ये है कि लोगों के हकूक बदस्तूर है, और दूसरी खूबसूरती ये है कि लोगों को टिम्बर माफिया से निजात मिलके उनको जो जरूरियात है या उनकी जो मतलब माली मामलत है वो होती रहेगी। इसमें अवामी शराकत बड़ी जरूरी है, न सिर्फ महकमा जंगलात बल्कि इसमें कम्युनिटी जो मतलब यूजर हैं वो भी इसमें शामिल होंगे।
Forests have the potential to reduce global greenhouse gases by as much as 31%. So it's imperative to use restoration of degraded forests, reforestation of lost forests, and afforestation of new lands as a strategy in our fight against climate change. Earth and its natural resources are a gift of nature, and it's our moral obligation to preserve them not only for ourselves, but also for our upcoming generations.